We just need also to go back to politics a bit, and we see what is trending as well on social media, because it's been a lot of political activities also on social media. Twitter rallies, having a Twitter storm also with Kamala Harris and Martha Karua. There was a fake, of course, tweet that was posted out there that was purported to be coming, so to speak, from Kamala Harris congratulating Martha Karua. But Asha folks, that was just called out as a fake news item on social media. And this is a time when Kenyans also need to be very wary on how they can actually separate, deep videos and fake news and misinformation and disinformation. Over to you, Asha. Good to see you.
Yeah, good morning, Dibal. There's been a lot of fake news, as you've just mentioned. Yesterday with the unveiling of Martha Karua as Raila Odinga's running mate, the tweets came up about, Kamala Harris endorsing her for the deputy president position. We also had tweets coming out, Samia Suluhu as well endorsing her and saying, this is good for women all over. And when you, just a simple Twitter search, guys had already spread this a lot, but just by a simple Twitter search, just go on to their accounts, and you'll see that they did not tweet any of these things, and these are just fake posts that have been created to, some people are doing it for clout, because when you post that, you'll get retweeted and you'll get to spread the information around. And it's just, I think, a lot of vigilance that needs to be done, especially during this political season. There's a lot of fake news that's going to be coming out, and of course, even us as a media, it's our job to, break that down and give out the clear information. But even just at that grassroots level, when you encounter such, you should know not to also, spread fake news and be able to call it out and just do a fact check by yourself. Simple things such as just go to the account and see, did this person tweet this? When was the last time they tweeted this? Is this the actual name on Twitter, or is it, parody account? You also have a lot of parody accounts going around. And just a quick fact, in 2018, MIT did a study, and they came to discover that, 70 fake tweets are bound to be spread 70 times more than the real news. And it takes more than 6 times, like the fake news will get to you 6 times faster than the real news will get to you. So I think there's a lot of vigilance that needs to be done by Kenyans all around. Right,
indeed. So a lot is really happening, Asha Fox. I think I have an issue with your mic. Let me try and sort it out in the meantime. As I try and bind my time, and just remind our viewers, of course, today is a big day as far as the Afro-Cities is concerned. If you just missed out on what Sada Hassan had just reported, that yes, Kisumu City is a place where you need to train your focus today in all the effort of trying to streamline economic and social governance, and looking also at sustainability of our cities as well. Kisumu is setting the stage as far as head of state who are meeting there, and also stakeholders who are coming to Africa right now to congregate in Kisumu to try and thrash out on that particular very, very ticklish issue about sustainability of our cities as well. Going by what has been happening with the climate change, we know in Mozambique, we had Cyclone Idai, which killed a lot of people, and people are pointing fingers to, the resilience of our buildings. And right now, that is the effort they're trying to put forth to try and stem that particular, of course, onslaught of climate change with the ramifications. So that is a very pivotal conference that is happening, and that also acts as a segue for the World Urban Forum that will be in Poland, Kotais. That will be next month. So in light of that, let me just go back to Asha Fox. Asha, I hope you've not really lost your train of thought on there as well. But we were to gravitate also a discussion on what is happening. Some musicians, they take advantage right now for the electioneering period when you want to really, and Ben Gidai is noted for that, with that Tano Tena. Now we have another Raila and, of course, Martha Karua song that is about to be released. Is it out yet? And there are also monikers which are coming to the fore. If you watched what was happening on social media yesterday about Madarao, it's Madarao now, and then we have Rarua. That will be another coinage that is coming from very innovative Kenyans. At the end of the day, what are you learning?
We have Rauka,
Rauka.
This is Rauka, yes. This is by Ben Gizai.
It is called Rauka.
It's called Rauka. It's one of the taglines actually in its song. There's Rauka, there is Baba and Mama Martha. It says a lot, but so on the Rarua, Madarao, there's Rauka as well.
But more importantly as well, Asha folks, because when we have all these DJs and they're playing all these songs, sometimes they don't take cognizance of the fact that they could be infringing on the rights of these musicians. And Sauti Sol, they're on that beat. Now they're threatening to sue Azimio. Tell us more about that.
Yeah, so Sauti Sol, they're not happy. They say they're going to sue Azimio because during the unveiling at KCC yesterday, the song was played extravaganza, and one of the lines in that song is, wakiapisha tunapisha, and of course that has to do with the fact that Ruto unveiled his running mate earlier, so wakiapisha. So yesterday Raila also unveiled his, so wanapisha pia. And Sauti Sol are not happy about that. They're saying it's an infringement on, the copyright. They did not approve for that song to be used. They are political. They do not affiliate themselves with any party. And basically they're just saying that, they do not want such kind of political association because it could interfere with their career in the long run, and we've seen this happen to other artists as well, where there are those who thrive on this and there are those who don't do well on this. So they've threatened to sue Azimio, saying that, you used our song, you didn't let us know, we did not approve for this. But then again, on the flip side as well, Kenyans have come out to, tell them, but even you guys, when you used that song in that line in your song, the song is extravaganza, the tukiapisha, wakiapisha tunapisha, they're saying, Raila did this first. You remember the previous election, there was a swearing in, and then there was also an attempt to have, another swearing in as well. So they're saying maybe you guys borrowed the idea from Raila, and in this case you should be paying, the Azimio campaign team because you infringed on the copyright. But it's just a lot of copyright, talks that are happening. And then you remember that Raila actually paid 562,500 shillings to the MCSK to allow them to be able to use any song, national, international, on the campaign trail. 562,500 shillings.
How much again?
More than 500,000. More than 500,000, So then that, the guys were also saying, then there's no contest, because they've paid to be able to actually use this music. But then I think most artists now, you need to go back in and check what does the copyright law entail. Of course, Sauti Sol has quoted a lot of, laws that they feel have been infringed in this situation. But I think it's something to look out for upcoming artists as well. And you remember Kekobo last year, the Kenya Copyright Board of Kenya, last year in November, this is 6 months ago, they came out and made a statement and warned guys and artists and told them, before you go performing live at any of these political events, you need to make sure that you've either gotten your full payment or, they paid you at least half or paid you some significant amount before you go in for the payment. Because they're saying that, given past elections and past periods, what guys have gone out to do is, you're an artist, you want to get known. So then you'll go on this campaign trail and you do all these live performances expecting some form of payment. And then you don't get it at the end of the day, or, the person that you are rooting for loses the election. And then you don't end up getting paid. You guys had no contracts, and so you have no claim basically. And there's no way that the Copyright Board can defend you. There's no way to defend yourself in this situation. Yes.
Right. Indeed. Nilitamani nilie na kijaluo lakini si kijui. Nilitamani nilie na kikisi lakini si kijui. So guys are actually commemorating the 1992 hit by Freshly Mamburi there as well. So I think it still remains an evergreen big hit. Stella Wangu, it's just speaking to many Kenyans who they have been heartbroken when you're having that international relationship. The international ones? Yes?
Long distance.
But tell us more about Freshly Muguri and the Stella song. and what guys are really saying about that particular song today.
Before we get deep into that, Dibal, just a bit of a personal question.
Please,
have you ever
things.
been in a long-distance relationship?
No, we're not heading there. Personal matters, this is professional.
All right, so
what are they saying?
Yes, Mamburi managed to turn personal matters into, you know, something professional, and it worked out for him. So this is almost 30 years later, and Kenyans are still remembering. I think, you know, first thing this morning, from midnight actually, guys had started tweeting about, you know, this is the day that, you know, Stella broke Freshly Mamburi's heart. This is the day that, you know, this guy, so for the guys who are not familiar with the story, this guy was in love with this girl. Freshly was in love with Stella. He really supported Stella. Stella wanted to go out and study medicine in Japan. Freshly sold his land, he sold his livestock to support her, you know, managed to raise fare for her, managed to raise pocket money so that she can have something to spend while in Japan, only for Stella to come back 3 years later after Freshly had gone to the airport with his entire family and his relatives, and they've gone to receive Stella at the airport, and she gets off the plane with, you know, a child in hand, and you know, her Japanese husband falling right behind her, and that was such a major heartbreak. Of course, Kenyans are having fun with this. They're remembering some of the, you know, personal heartbreaks as well. They're remembering, you know, this song always comes up on this date every year, 17th May. We remember what Stella did to Freshly, and yeah, so guys are remembering personal heartbreaks, and of course there's the jokes about Stella being the first woman to eat fare. Yeah, so yeah, there's a lot of that going on.
Of course, you trust Kenyans on that as well. So that too is a handy moment for any person to really get a therapeutic moment from, you know, Freshly Mamburi's song. It can be very cathartic just to, of course, try and process. If you're in that particular moment where you've been heartbroken, you can listen to it as well. So